Oh yeah, we in this thing. You know who you rocking with. You rocking with the best in sports talk, radio, TV, any form of media. Young Lion Leader here, and we're going to get into a couple topics, but we're going to jump on this Bill Cosby. And so our title for this video is Bill Cosby, 21st century lynching, or is he the G.O.A.T of rape? He has to be, it's either or. It's either or. I don't think it's any middle ground, this one. That's why it's such a hot issue, because it's not very much middle ground. You got, for the most part, the people won't tell you publicly, but they either believe wholeheartedly that he did not do it, or they believe wholeheartedly that he has done everything that has been accused. So yeah, we in this thing today. Smoke Cliff, what's up?
What's happening, man?
Yeah, man. How you? Yeah, man. What you got to say first, man? On coming in on this. Well, we got a little audio today. We're gonna listen to the daughters actually did phone interviews with the Breakfast Club. So yeah, a little audio that we were gonna play and listen to. They're protesting for their father, which I believe any family member should do. It just is what it is. So you got anything? I'm sorry.
Oh, you good, man?
You want to just go to the audio and then come back?
Yeah, we can go. You can listen to that. Yeah.
All right. Well, so we're gonna listen to this for y'all out there, and you tell us what you think. Tell us how you.
I am a very private person, and have chosen to live my life quietly with my family. But for my child, my niece and nephew, and my father, I cannot sit quietly anymore. The man portrayed in the media today is not who my father is. My father is a civil rights activist. My father is an advocate for children. My father is an educator. My father is a philanthropist. My father is an immensely talented and innovative entertainer. His philosophy is that people are good, and through effort and self-confidence, each person can make the world better. This is the man who is my father, a visionary whose life and career have focused on love and learning, on creativity and humor. These are the same core values that he has tried to model for me and my siblings, his grandchildren, and for the millions of strangers who encounter his work and advocacy. The accusations against my father have been one-sided since the beginning, and when he tried to defend himself, he was sued in civil court. I've seen the accusations become more horrific and extreme with time, and I've witnessed my father's reputation and legendary work be dismissed without any proof. I strongly believe my father is innocent of the crimes alleged against him, and I believe that racism has played a big role in all aspects of this scandal. How the charges came about being made against him, how people were willing to believe them before they were ever scrutinized or tested, how people who tried to speak to support him, or people who questioned the claims, were shut down and ignored and not given a voice, how the media created the story and the outcome before any court will ever test the claims, how my father is being punished by a society that still believes black men rape white women, but passes off as boys will be boys when white men are accused, and how the politics of our country prove my disgust. My father has been publicly lynched in the media, and my family, my young daughter, my young niece and nephew have had to stand helplessly by and watch the double standards of pretending to protect the rights of some, but ignoring the rights of others, and exposing innocent children to such appalling accusations about someone they love dearly and who has been so loving and kind to them is beyond cruel.
Now that was Bill Cosby's daughter.
All right. So that was the first one. Daughter speaking. Man, what did you think about what she said? I mean, she implied a little racism and stuff like that. What do you think?
I mean, I don't see. First of all, I wish they would have said something a long time ago. To be honest,
Yes.
Because he's been basically. It's basically been people who he basically raised through television speaking out for him. It hasn't been a lot of family, close friends. It's and you would rather see the family stepping up to say, because it's, if anyone should know or have any idea about that, it would be the family. You know what I mean? And regardless of who he is, if he done that shit, he deserves everything he gets coming to him. But if he doesn't, he deserves, the same thing. He deserves an apology. He deserves for everything that's been taken away from him to be given back. You know what I mean? So,
this is actually something that is, it may be to people outside of the culture, it may be a new thing to them in this particular issue as far as lynching. What do we feel like the public lynching ideal or premise? There's black communities, we kind of do think it is, there's a certain level of that when it comes down to us getting into anything as far as in the media, anything that fits the stereotype, the stereotypes that they put out is jumped on and sensationalized even more. And even in this right here, like, you would need, this is like the perfect storm, you know what I'm saying? This is like really like the perfect storm for Bill Cosby as far as the stereotype of, black men as rapists and they just want white women. I know that there were a few black women that were also in the.
I was about to cut you off there,
There
brother.
were black women that were. It was a few. Was it a lot? A few.
It was not a lot.
It was not a lot. So, most of this is some white women or whatever, but it just fits into the stereotype. So if that's realistically how the things go into in the media when they can, like Dave Chappelle, when Dave Chappelle went out of the country, he got on there and said that the guy said that you will be a crackhead by the time you make it home, and he said by the time he got to Africa, that was the headline for real. And that's the powerfulness of the people that you are dealing with like that, where they can basically take someone and completely question their sanity on a whim just like that and push it to millions of people. And once it's out there, it's out there, it's
Right.
And so that's really crazy that and like I said, they wouldn't say, they could. I think very well there may be some people that maybe like heroin or something like that, or what I'm just thinking, but I just think crack just rings a bell when it comes to black people. So
The perceived
Yes, so that they was. It's just playing their things.
It's just
If
code.
they,
It's just coding.
yeah, it's just coding
It's
the
coding.
thing. It's just so it's wow. It's
Man,
amazing that you know that they have these people that have that much power, and that they can search through your life and find anything that fits those stereotypes of things that deal with black men, and just take that one thing and destroy you with it, because realistically, since those things are stereotypes, they work more effectively even within our community, as far as within black people. So
I mean,
it affects them. Huh?
I agree. I mean, I definitely agree because the stereotypes affect not just Bill Cosby, but anybody who believes in Bill Cosby. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Or anytime because a lot of his fans are women. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And a lot of his fans are fathers. So, to well, if you're a human being, and regardless of how much you love somebody, when you have a daughter, you don't want that to happen to them. If you're a father, you don't want that to happen to your daughter. If you're a mother, you don't want that to happen to your child. You know what I mean? Regardless of who it is.
Hmm.
So, let's just take that out, regardless of him being Bill Cosby or not. If he
Yeah.
deserves it, he deserves it.
He,
The
one hundred
difference,
percent.
the difference is the way he's being lynched by the media.
Okay.
We haven't heard
All right. So.
two words about Bill O'Reilly and his over 15 cases, 13 lawsuits that
Hmm.
Fox paid out over the last 17 years. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Hadn't heard
Hmm.
two words about Bill O'Reilly,
Yeah,
but
and
Fox News
he'll
still
he'll
moving.
have an XM station. See, that's one thing. They passed the buck. One company, you do something for this company that they don't like, they say, we're gonna fire you. You're fired. And then you leave, and then you go over here to another place, and they give you the same opportunity. The company that whatever you did something at, when they fired you, they wiped themselves of responsibility of what you did, and then the new company wipes themselves of responsibility of what you did over there previously. So it's just like it's a total different opposite. Whereas, as it seems as though as an African American to shake any type of negative press is almost impossible. Like they're gonna call it, it's gonna be a part of your legacy for forever. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's
Yeah,
right
of
or
course.
wrong.
They own most of the the platforms.
Hmm.
So if that's what they want to put out every day, that's what they can put out every day, and not just on one station. They can put it out on multiple broadcasts.
All right.
You know.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's just what I was saying. Like
Yeah.
these corporations and owners of these television companies are at the end of the day in competition with each other. But for whatever reason, that doesn't matter when they have an agenda. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, for instance, when these people weren't uh, so enthusiastic about Hillary Clinton being the president, you could see all of these stations and all of these politicians coming out of the woodwork, bringing up a lot of things. And I'm not saying that it wasn't true. All that I'm saying is when they have an agenda, it isn't just one, because people have differences of opinion all the time.
Hmm.
So how can all these people feel the exact same way?
Yeah,
It
that
has to
is.
be an agenda.
That it
It has
really is. Hmm. Yeah, you have really stations to compete that never agree on any topic, really.
exactly, exactly. They
Except for when it comes to down in.
war, politics, black
Yeah.
people,
Hmm.
systematic racism doesn't exist. Police
Yeah.
don't kill innocent people. You never hear things like that because that isn't ever going to be a part of their agenda to fix those problems. They only want to perpetuate the same things that's been perpetuated for the last, well, let me just speak on my last 32 years of life. Things have always been the same, news wise, media wise. And it's only different when I see diversity, in the information, in the news, diversity within the news channels. So it just so happens a lot of the diversity I get my news from comes from people like The Advice Show or Voice Watkins or Yvette Carnell, people like that. I get different, and it's the diversity. Even I listen to the Young Turks. I love the Young Turks.
Yeah,
so it's like
that is particularly why they have actually hit YouTube and stuff like that. They don't want to pay for people having any other agendas outside of theirs, and that's all of those corporations in concert, because they in concert pull their money from YouTube, citing that they wanted to decide who the money goes to. They want the control of who gets a platform and who doesn't. That's not free press, if you actually, but they don't care about free press. They care about control. We got to understand that. But let's get back to the topic. As far as, man, we kind of touched on the lynching side of what we think of it, and then we'll go to, if this is not a public lynching, this man got to be the slickest brother ever to be called slick in an oil factory, man. Like, this dude, to get away with 3 dozen, 4 dozen, 5 dozen rapes at the same time, and they was still lynching brothers, and he was actually an activist and gave his money toward this. Brother got to be the greatest of all time when it comes to rape. I mean, does he have fingerprints, nigga? I mean, did he wipe his, what I'm saying? Is his, did they know how to erase your DNA from your semen and stuff? Like, how could this man make it this long raping, I know it was black women, but in particular white women, through one of the worst eras that ever existed for race relations, even though we're this time right now, and the time we're living in might be coming up on the 50s and 60s again, but 20s actually. We probably gonna be coming up on the 20s, but God, man, how good does he have to be, man? Explain to me how good this man has to be if he pulled this off, man. Smoke.
Yeah.
What do you think about this, man? How do you?
I mean,
how do you get away with this?
Common sense would tell you, if his name was not Bill Cosby, right? He would already been in jail. He would have already, he would have been in jail by now, right? This is just common sense. This is just for an average, regular person. If there's not enough money in the world that can protect you from that many cases, you know what I mean? Fox eventually would, Bill O'Reilly got tired of paying the money. You know what I mean?
Man, they got caught up. It's just not the time right now, and they probably was just ready to move him anyway because he's getting old and need to move some young talent in.
I mean, I don't listen, man. I beg to differ.
I think
Bill O'Reilly
because they got insurance for that. They don't pay that money. They don't pay that. money
Yeah,
like
but
that.
Bill O'Reilly was one of the top earners. I mean, understand what I'm saying. You're not the top earner when you don't have a top audience. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So regardless of how old he was getting, his audience was getting older too, but they
Mm-hmm.
were still tuning in to watch him. Is there are more retired people watching him than not, right?
Yeah.
People who don't work. So I'm not saying that don't work, but are retired or aren't working full time. You go back and you watch O'Reilly. They watch him, and that's the point of view that they get all day. You know what I mean? That's who they choose to listen to all day, and it's a million people that they can listen to. And regardless of how people feel about him, he has a devout audience. He had a devout audience. I'm pretty sure if he goes to do anything else, he'll still have them. But what I'm saying about the difference in between a person like Bill Cosby and a person like Bill O'Reilly is us. It's us because
Well, this is the
Bill
one
Cosby,
thing. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Bill Cosby should have had more of a voice from us,
Yes.
me included. He should have had more of a voice, and not just a voice, a
You,
plan for action.
you even
Because
tell it.
you
I,
can't let a man who's on the Mount Rushmore of blackness, you know what I mean? Blackness in America, that is. He's on, just like George Washington and all those other guys on Mount Rushmore. He's on the Mount Rushmore of blackness in America.
yeah.
He showed a lot of men how to be fathers when the stereotype was black men don't like to be in their kids' life, won't be in their kids' life. He changed a lot of those stereotypes single-handedly.
Uh,
Single-handedly. He
well,
deserves more from us than that.
yes, he does. He does. Until proven guilty, he definitely does. And the main thing that Bill O'Reilly has that we don't have is people that on their particular generation, they're gonna be quiet like until he's proven guilty. We have Hannibal Buress. We have people like Hannibal Buress, which is he don't really understand that he probably has destroyed his own career, because those particular people that they're gonna put you in because you did what they want you to. They're gonna put you in a lot of nice roles coming up. But if you do not get a complete following from them people, you have nothing to fall back on, because there are a lot of comedians that will not say anything publicly. They would never mess with you. So, man, you jump out there, and then realistically, everybody else kind of jumped in too after Hannibal Buress did that or whatever, because they're like, okay, they're getting the jokes. He really opened it up to another circuit of comedians to talk about him. Once Hannibal did it, then even though it's not on TV, there were hundreds of white comedians that followed after him as an open season to have jokes about him, even though nothing has been proven in any way. So that is
Look
our.
at that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what they have. Like Bill O'Reilly, the people that at one point like Bill O'Reilly will not come out and condemn him until he has been convicted. Whereas on our side, on the minority side, because they own the media, they find someone to come out and jump out and attack. And then after that one person attacks that is of the minority, then everybody else has a reason. And then as a black comedian, after everybody else has jumped in, and you don't have any Bill Cosby material, that's how it goes. So you can't. That's one part of being actually a relevant artist, especially comedian. You have to be on the current topics that people are on. That's what it is. This is really one of the biggest stories in a few years or whatever. So
It's just not a lot of objectivity.
Yes.
It's not enough.
That's all I want. That's all I want. When they tell you some crazy stuff that I did something, this is all I want. I just want the people out there looking at me, especially the ones that have known me, to know that I ain't for no foolishness. That y'all, if they come out jumping out on me before I'm proven guilty in the court of law, just stand up for me. You know, shut it down. It doesn't make sense. But the thing is, you can't. Realistically, what we don't understand is those same people that are at him. So if I'm trying to get Bill Cosby, and I'm still doing movies and TV shows, and I actually have my little side thing over here trying to get Bill Cosby, and you are an actor out there, and you gonna step up and say something for Bill Cosby, guess what? No jobs for you. Move on. You know what I'm saying? We can find somebody else to put in, because it don't matter, because whatever we feed to the public, they gonna eat it. That's what the thing we don't realize is you ain't never had no choice. People talking about like, oh man, I remember you ain't have but 4 stations. At least you ain't got no choice. It'd be the same thing on all of the stations. You ain't got no choice. You're gonna take what they give you and find whatever relevance in it, whatever they give you that relates to you. So man, we have touched it on, man, but we've pressed it on, but I just think this is a wonderful topic. I'm probably going to come back and revisit this again, but we're going to go ahead and cut this thing, man. We sure appreciate anybody that took the time to come on down and listen all the way through the video. We always want you to subscribe, share the videos with other people. We got good topics coming. We got good game to chop up on those topics. Listen, subscribe. It's your boy, Young Lion the Leader.